All right, thank you. And sir, your name, please. Your name, please. Mr. Gant, can you hear me?
We don't get it.
Thank you. All right, and today is the date for arraignment as your client is in custody and counsel as to the arraignment.
As to the arraignment, we waive formal reading and my client stands mute.
The court will waive the formal reading. Enter a plea of not
Take
guilty.
your hands out of your pockets.
Schedule this matter for pretrial on July 18th. At 9 a.m. And counsel as to bond.
Your Honor, my client indicates he's not on probation or parole. He lives with his brother and sister in E-course. We'd be respectfully requesting any leniency to allow my client to get out of custody. To my knowledge, he does not receive any assistance from the state, nor is he gainfully employed, nor does he have any bills, but he does have lodging. Thank you, Judge. And he did provide a address to the court as to where he would be staying.
All right, thank you. Mr. Gant, are you currently on probation or parole anywhere?
When I asked Mr. Gant that very same question, he indicated he was not on probation or parole.
Okay. And the address with his family in E-course, is that just a mailing address or does he sleep there?
He indicates he resides there. He believes that it's, I believe that it's his brother's address.
Mom, could you put me on probation? Let me go. I haven't got no money.
Okay, well, sir, you somehow had money to consume alcohol at some point because it's alleging that you were highly
I don't
intoxicated.
want to drink no alcohol, Mom. I'm tired of drinking alcohol.
You what?
I'm tired of drinking alcohol.
Okay, well, and you also have a significant number of cases as well on your criminal history. Sir, if the court were to drug test you today, what would be detected in your system?
I can't hear her.
Okay.
This is hard though.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to yell, so I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling so you can hear me. If you were to have a drug test today, what would be detected in your system?
Do you have any drugs in your system?
Drugs and alcohol, I don't know.
So you would have both drugs and alcohol?
I had alcohol in me.
Okay, do you have any drugs? Did you take any drugs recently?
One, I guess,
What's that?
I don't know what it was. It wasn't dope.
Well, what do you determine as dope?
I got paper.
What,
Crack.
crack?
It wasn't crack.
It wasn't crack. Okay, then what was it?
I was drunk off of alcohol, Mom. I don't know how I'm getting drunk off of alcohol anyway.
Okay, here's what the court's going to do. The court, sir, how long have you lived with your brother in E-course?
My mama dead.
Your mom's deceased? Okay. How long have you been living with your brother in E-course?
3 months.
3 months. And why don't you work?
I can't find no job.
Why not?
I don't know.
Have you
I don't
applied?
know where no job's at.
Have you applied?
One time. I worked at a pet right in another job. That was a long time ago. I don't know what no jobs are. I've been asking for jobs everywhere. They pushed me out of there. So
Okay, well, based upon the allegations of and the nature of the charges in this matter, based upon the defendant's criminal history, the lack of lengthy stability housing, the court's going to indicate a $7,500 10% bond. In the event you post bond, GPS and alcohol tether through the Wayne County Jail. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs that are not prescribed.
Brian, are you ready?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good day. All right, let's go off the record.
What's up, everybody? How we doing? Welcome to the show. I'm your boy Phil, and are you ready for clips, and more clips compiled by me, myself, Lucy, and people in the Discord? I thought I was going to say I. Welcome, new viewers. How are you doing? Welcome to the show. You are home. Everybody check out that Judge Brian premiere today. Oh boy. How we doing? Happy birthday, Lisa. Just in case I don't go live on Sunday. Happy birthday. You are an OG and we love you. Let's get into it. It could be Maniac Monday every day. So let's get into it. Let's do a little Judge Van. We love Judge Van.
Don't read it.
Face the TV? Yes,
For
ma'am. State
Grandma.
your name.
Ms. Cope, you're fully court charged driving under the influence. You understand that charge now?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Repeat that, I'm sorry.
Been advised of your rights today?
Yes, sir.
You got a copy of your paperwork?
Yes, sir.
All right. Based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you, so you have an attorney now. Deputy Criminal History, Ms. Cope?
She had a marijuana charge in Texas in 13, that's it.
Lots 2,500, court dates June 30th, 8:30. Good luck, ma'am.
Step on your Everett T
Poor Granny.
when the light comes on time. Your bond is 2,500 and your court date is in the morning.
Oh, okay, so I can
It
get
makes sense to
that.
family.
Yes, ma'am. And they should pay me to be an interpreter. Next,
No. All you do is repeat the same thing.
apparently you didn't say it right the first time. Next,
Nobody says next better than her.
Let me try
No
your
one.
job for a little while.
No one better than
I
Roosevelt.
guess hear code, whatever, red all over this jail if you came over here. I'm a people person.
Look at Pinky.
Step on me.
Hold on. Time out. Did you say
What
you're a
up,
people person?
Daylight?
I am. I rarely have a problem.
Oh.
Knock on wood.
Getting deep in here. Say your name for me, man.
Courtney Elizabeth Kelly Goodwin. That's
Ms.
it?
Goodwin, you're fully court charged of trespass. You understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Based on your application, you don't want a public defender. Are you going to represent yourself or hire an attorney?
I think this time I will.
You will?
No, I don't have any money, so I guess you have to get a public defender if you're broke.
Okay. If you want a public defender, we need you to fill out the appropriate paperwork so we can
God bless
determine if you
you.
qualify, okay?
Whatever, sure. Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah. Deputy Criminal History?
Trespassing burglary earlier this year that they reduced and did a time on it.
Bond set 2,500, no contact with alleged victim. Court date is June 30th at 8:30. If you'll step to your right to the T and sign. Thank you, ma'am.
Not here.
Judge Van.
State your name.
As a reach out.
Ma'am, before the court on failure to appear for driving license suspend or revoke, failure to appear for a pretrial conference on a driving license suspend or revoke. You understand those charges, ma'am?
I understand.
Hey,
I
like
don't
with the
understand. Is it
dono.
one or two? Because
Thank you very much.
Two. Two with 2 court dates that you missed on both.
so one, two different charges though?
Correct.
Is one. What do I do if I am only aware of committing one?
Well, then I guess you would be wanting to look at the complaints on each of them and find out which one you forgot.
I know which one I know of. And it's
Okay,
the
well-
one from April 12th.
That's the one with Judge Grammer, the arraignment. You also missed a pretrial conference in my court, also in April. They've got 2 different cases, 2 different case numbers, happened at 2 different times. One was a 21 case, one is a 22 case. So different years.
Okay. I don't recall it, but I mean,
He does wear a robe at times, Tasha. It's hit or miss. I guess he just, whatever the hell he wants to do. It's Judge Van. Does whatever he wants.
I guess I don't really have a choice though.
Okay, well, based on
I
your
can't-
application, I find that you do qualify for the services of the public defender's office. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No, I do appreciate that.
Okay.
I do have a question about the bond though.
Okay.
Does it gotta be $6,500 or can it be $650? If it's the bondsman?
That depends upon you and the bondsman.
Okay. And then also, is there a way I could maybe do some sort of speedy trial or something? Because the reason why I ask is my mother is at home taking care of my children. I have 3 young children at home, and my mom's dying of cancer right now. So I'm afraid that my family's not being tended to correctly. And I just want to do whatever it is I got to do to try to get to my kids.
It's hard to ask for a speedy trial when you failed to appear twice.
Oh,
1,500 on the first one, June 30th at 8:30, 5,000 on the second one, July 3rd at 9 o'clock.
okay.
Step to your right, man.
All right. We could do Judge Van all night, but I got some goodies to get to. So let's roll. Let's get into this. Judge Chisholm had what was going on in his courtroom today. This poor man.
Now,
We'll start with Ms. Good.
Do you want to do Stiller or do you want me to take this back? Which,
I'd like to do good so that the detective can.
that's fine. Ms. Good, we're gonna do first. Second up. Son. Okay.
This is file 23-01188. The people of the state of Michigan versus Jessica Ann Good.
Ready, Your Honor. Michael G. Mitchell on behalf of Ms. Good, who is present. We do consent to Zoom. Ms. Good, please state your name for the record.
Jessica Ann Homo Good.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd waive the formal reading, stand my client mute, ask that a not guilty plea be entered. I have explained to her her rights to a preliminary exam as well as her trial rights subsequent to that. Further, she would be requesting an appointed attorney.
Thank you. Good, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say or write can be used against you in court. You have the right to have a probable cause conference set within 7 to 14 days from today, and a preliminary examination set within 5 to 7 days thereafter. A preliminary examination is a hearing at which the Oakland County prosecuting attorney bears the burden of establishing the fact that a crime was committed, and that there's probable cause to believe that you committed that crime. You'll be notified of the date and time of those matters by male, you have a right to be represented by counsel at all hearings. And I would respectfully suggest that when you fill out the form to be represented by counsel, when you fill out the form for court-appointed counsel, that you fill it out completely. When the court has to make a decision as to whether or not they can approve you getting court-appointed counsel, it helps if you filled in all the blanks. Do you still live on Church?
No, I don't.
Mr. Mitchell, do you have her new address? Detective Promo, if he has,
So the point of this case is, you know how we play that court bingo with Kitch? If you listen, she hits every check mark in things not to do to land yourself in court. Just listen. Everything.
anything he wants to say in this matter, and after he's done, you can have another response, please.
Paul Reiser.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, I did check Jessica and Lean SOS. Shows she does have a revoked driver's license. However, she does have an outstanding warrant. Looks like it's out of the 27th District Court, 2017. Bond of $2,500 for OWI.
Free.
She does have an extensive criminal history, started in 2002, out of the 8th District Court. Looks like felony assault with dangerous weapon, which was dismissed.
5.
Misdemeanor domestic violence, which was dismissed. Misdemeanor alcohol purchase, consumption, possession by minor was also dismissed. In 2003, out of the 54B District Court, she pled Nolly Pross to misdemeanor domestic assault. 2004, out of 41A District Court, OWI, she pleaded guilty. 2016, 44 District Court, ordinance violation, larceny, less than $200, which was dismissed. 2017, 52 4 District Court, looks like count 1 ordinance violation, operating violation of license restrictions, which was dismissed. Another count for ordinance violating disturbing the peace, which was, she pled guilty. In 2018, out of the 6th Circuit Court, felony controlled substance possessed, cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic less than 25 grams, pled guilty. 2018, out of our court, 44 District Court, she has pled guilty to domestic violence. Again, in 2000, that was June. In October 2018, 44 District Court, another domestic violence she pled guilty to. Then in August of 2020, out of the 6th Circuit Court, felony domestic violence and or knowingly assaulting a pregnant individual, and third offense notice in which she pled
a new low here, beating up a preggy.
nolo to.
Thank you.
I do like to, if I could speak more, you want me to wait till later in terms of
Overachiever.
Of the bond, if the bond is given.
That would be the time.
Okay, I'm asking for a high bond due to the fear of the victim. I had a long conversation with her mother. She is extremely fearful of her daughter. She says Jessica's broken into her home in the past several times by going through the window after being ordered to not have contact with her. She's assaulted Janice in the past and does not care about instruction from the court, as the council has indicated.
Rich, we did lose count, Richard. Lost count.
There is 3 prior incidents.
It's still going.
Where Janice was a victim to the assaults done by Jessica. Also, for the safety of the neighbors residing where Janice lives, they are in fear of her behavior and that she may hurt them. For the safety of the community, she does not have any assaultive behavior with the citizens of Royal Oak. She does have the outstanding warrant, and if a bond is given, I'm asking for alcohol testing. Alcohol was a factor according to the victim in this leading up to the assault. And the victim is actually asking for some type of GPS tethering so they can monitor her, so we can make sure she does stay away from Janice's address if she does post a bond.
Mr. Mitchell?
Your Honor, there's obviously a lot going on here, and I think a lot of it has to do with some mental health issues. I would just request that the court take that into account. I don't know how effective a level of treatment she would be able to get in custody. I understand the court has its obligations in ensuring the safety of the community, but I've got nothing further to add on this.
Again, I did not mean to take that out of the right order.
Well, it wouldn't, well, at the end of the day, I don't think it would have changed much, Your Honor, but that's okay.
Okay, this appears to be the third offense. Ms. Good, while you're on this bond, you may not use alcohol. You may not use marijuana or any illicit drug. The alcohol testing will be twice a week by ETG. Drug testing will be 3 times a month. There will be no release until the GPS tether is installed on your person. And the alleged victim's home is to be a hot spot on that GPS monitoring. You may not purchase, possess, or carry any weapon or firearm on this bond. There's to be no release until such time as your release address has been verified, provided to the court and verified.
I'm homeless, sir.
Shocker.
We need a release address before you can be released. This will involve pretrial service supervision.
Nacho. Definitely. 4th. And then watch.
And I need $10,000 to bail out.
Here we go. Next one.
Yes.
Ready?
All right. Have a good weekend.
Next. This is Michigan, Rebecca.
All right, Miss Stiller, and you're up.
Okay. Next one is
May take a minute before it kicks back.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know my lawyer was gonna come back on. Okay. That we're going straight.
They run it from the courtroom, so we'll see. how
Oh, okay. I won't worry about them.
Ms. Stiller, can you see and hear us?
Yes, I can, Your Honor.
oh boy.
Was that you speaking? I think it was you speaking.
the magistrate.
It sounded like it had the lawyer's voice in it too,
Monkey.
so I need to know who's speaking right now.
Your attorney is here
Okay.
by Zoom. Okay,
Beverly
this is
Property.
file 23-01-189, people of the city of Royal Oak versus Marlene Lynette Stiller.
Ready, Your Honor. Michael G. Mitchell on behalf of Ms. Stiller, who is present. We do consent to conducting this arraignment on Zoom. Ms. Stiller, please state your name for the record.
Marlene Stiller.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd waive the formal reading, stand my client mute, ask that a not guilty plea be entered on her behalf. Further, she would be requesting an appointed attorney.
Thank you. Plea of not guilty will enter. The next step in the process in court, Ms. Stiller, will be a pretrial conference. You'll be notified of that pretrial conference by mail. Do you still live on Mount Kisco Drive?
No, Your Honor. My last address was in
Okay,
Pine.
don't tell us the address because we're on YouTube. I'm trying to protect your address.
Oh, please, yes.
Mr. Mitchell, do you have your address that you could chat?
Here we go.
I don't, she tells me she is currently homeless. She does rely on state aid. She also informed me, Your Honor, that she's currently a victim of a pending sex trafficking case in the city of Royal Oak. She tells me that she does not have a history of failing to appear. She may have a pending probation violation. These are misdemeanor counts.
Spelling of her name. Ms. Stiller, is your last name spelled S-T-I-L-L-E-R?
No, Your Honor.
No?
No.
How is your last name spelled?
I can't do it right now because we're in a legal case. I'm actually a musician and I'm creating my life. I can't go on track with a legal matter for my music.
Do you have a birth certificate?
I'd like to talk to a lawyer about that because I guess you're the judge, so that's all I can answer you.
What?
I'm gonna put you back with Mr. Mitchell in the break.
Your Honor.
It'll stay breakout room 1.
Okay, I just had to get to that. They don't get anything out of her. All right, here we go. We have a TPO for the books. Beauty, I've never seen this before. I've gotten dentist, doctor's office. Of course, we have car. This is a new one. Literally getting her hair done at the beauty shop. Yes. During a TPO. Let's roll. Okay, so I'll set it up for you. I got this whole thing. So, skipped a little. So right now we have lovers. Bottom left, top right, Fire Monkey, 5 memberships flying. Thank you, Fire Monkey. You are the best. Okay, this is cousin. All right, she is a witness. And right now she started off the hearing. So this is the very beginning of the hearing, and lover here wants this one away because apparently she's cuckoo. And apparently they love scenery and beauty shops. Let's go.
I guess what we're looking for is information that you have.
Definitely Buckley.
Personal.
They were, bashing her, calling her all type of names and everything.
And when was this?
This date here was, let me go back to, that was on May 19th.
Okay, and what else? I'm sorry.
Yes, also on May 6th around 4:30, I was there at.
I'm sorry, you're on mute.
There was his,
Ms.
tow truck.
Foster, I completely lost that because you muted yourself in the middle of the sentence. You said on May 6th at 4:30. What happened?
Yes, ma'am. The dad wound up coming there. I took pictures and videos of him riding around in his tow truck. I think it's called A.
I'm not here about Mr. Springer at all. I just want to hear about
okay,
Sequoia Springer.
Okay, so when she came to the house, I was yesterday. Well, we was in court, and everything. Just with them going back and forth. When I'm there with her, the whole thing with the mom putting her up on Facebook, it just gets overwhelming.
Okay, is that all of the personal knowledge you have about Miss Sequoia Springer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Ms. Springer, do you have any questions for Ms. Foster? You can ask me, and I'll ask.
No, I do not. Well, I do. As of May 19th, what was stated that day?
Okay, Ms. Foster, so I think you testified that on May 19th, you heard some things on the phone, and Ms. Springer is asking, what did you exactly hear? By the way, let me just tell you, you can go ahead and say what was actually said, even if it's cuss words, okay?
Oh, a curse word. Oh, okay. I didn't want to. Okay. They were stating that they were going to beat my cousin ass. Don't worry about it, bitch. We gonna come for you. You're not gonna be safe, bitch. Just all type of things. Because, like I said, I was on my way to get my niece because of the situation of what my cousin had going on, and it was just like, why are they acting like this? And then, of course, I can hear, the bus coming. So my niece was getting ready to get off the bus in the process of all of this, of the bickering and lashing that they were doing to her.
Okay.
It was really ugly and nasty.
All right, Ms. Springer, do you have any other questions you want me to ask her?
Who said it?
Do you know who said those words? Was it multiple people? Ms. Foster, do you know?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you know who said those things?
It was the daughter.
Who's the daughter?
Sequoia.
Okay. Any other questions, Ms. Springer?
Harry B.
Around what time was this?
Do you know what time it was, Ms. Foster?
This would have been, 'cause my niece was coming, she was getting off the school bus. So this would have been maybe like 3:30 possibly. I'm not 100% sure. I would definitely have to go back into my phone call search.
Was it the
and definitely
afternoon
pull
though?
it up. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It was definitely in the afternoon. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So like I say, it had my niece gets out of school between 2:45, get to the house maybe like at 3:15 or something like that.
All right, thank you. Ms.
Yes, ma'am.
Springer, any other
Was
questions?
the officer present that day?
Ms. Foster, did you see an officer present when you arrived?
No, at that time when I got there, the officer, they was actually just leaving.
Okay, Ms. Springer, any other questions?
No further questions.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Burke, is there anything you want me to ask your witness?
You can ask Ms. Foster, did she see personally for herself the harassment of Socoria's mom that was directed to me?
Yeah, you can actually ask your own witness.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I should have done that, but did you see the mom? Did you see Socoria's mom harass or hear her harass Ms. Burke?
Yes, I did. That would be the Facebook and the Instagram. When that got posted and everything, it was like, why is she stooping to this level to do this? This is just not right at all. She had no reason to post my cousin's picture.
And her brother has came to the home. on
Yes,
multiple occasions.
yes, that was on June 6th. My cousin called me around 8:30, possibly going on 9 o'clock. I had just gotten off work. She called me and told me that they was there at the house. I came over, we were standing outside, the police was there, and one of the officers' names was there before, and I have met him on 2 other occasions while they was there, which was Officer House. They were in their vehicles taking pictures of me because so they don't know who I am. I'm the cousin that they never met. So now it was like, oh, well, who is this bitch? Who, you know what I'm saying? Making certain comments and everything like that while they was outside.
Okay. All right, anything else, Ms. Burke?
Let me see. Well, I think that might be, the day that the son was there, we heard what the daughter told the officer. Can you tell the judge exactly what the daughter told the officer on the phone that day?
Okay, wait, I'm sorry, now I say that one more time.
And I want to say, can we stop saying daughter? Are you talking about Socoria?
Okay.
Ms. Springer, like, let's use names, please.
Ms. Foster, can you tell the judge the day that the son came to the home, Brian Springer Jr., what did Socoria Springer tell the officer on the phone that day?
Yes, the daughter told the officer that her brother came to get the belongings, as she stated, and that Nadia did not have a TPO on him.
Hey, Lenny.
Okay, thank you.
Hope she
All right,
feels
anything else
better.
for Ms. Foster?
That's it.
Okay, Ms. Springer, you have any follow-up questions?
God bless.
I would like to know the day that I was present. What day would that be again?
Okay, I think, well, I know what the answer is that she said,
Relevant
but Ms.
to-
Foster, what day was that again?
The
No,
day
I
that
know
she came,
about May 19th, but I'm saying she said June 6th or 10th.
What date did you say, Ms. Foster?
when she came with her brother on June 6th.
Okay, I think that answers the question. Okay,
So she's saying that I did come with my brother June 6th.
she just
It was-
testified to that.
was
Ms.
it June 6th or was
Wait a
it May
second. Whoa. She said it was June 6th. Do you have any other questions, Ms. Springer?
Nope, that'll be all.
Okay, thank you.
I've been took accountability for that. That had nothing to do with state. As of this whole situation starting, I've never had a problem with Ms. Burke. The whole situation of being arrested for obstruction to an officer, I've been took accountability for that. That had nothing to do with Ms. Burke. I've been made that very clear. However, when I did return home from jail the first time, me and Ms. Burke did not speak. Due to the simple fact, I felt like Ms. Burke should have came and talked to me if she, loved and cared for me at that time. After that, we did have issues in the home. We was going back and forth. We had our words and stuff like that. That is true. As of May 8th, the day that I came from out of town and came home and seeing that the Ring camera that my dad purchased was missing, I contacted the police. After that, I decided to go into the home. After checking the mailbox, there was no mail in the mailbox. So I decided to go into the home and I could not get into the home. I submitted evidence that Ms. Burke had both doors barricaded with a door stopper and another item as to why the door ended up falling off the hinges after me kicking it because something was blocking it. I did go to jail for that, and that was for criminal trespass is what I was told. When I got out, May 19th, I came back after I was in Valdosta for that week. I came back to retrieve more items. Officer Dennis assisted me that day with getting things out of the home. Shortly after I left, like Ms. Foster said, that I rode past, well, Ms. Burke said that I rode past and did this and that and the third, whatever she mentioned. That didn't happen because Mr. Dennis told me I could not have no contact with her unless I was going to go to jail for a felony. And he was present that day. So nothing was said that day. Shortly after that, I've never tried to get in contact with her, not even after the first time. First time that was over with when I went to jail. I did submit proof and evidence of everything that's, in the home that she said I stole her items when I came June 2nd, or what date she said. I don't know how I stole things when it was nothing in there to steal and all of her things are boxed up.
Richard, could you imagine if I put this on, if I had to like speed this up? I wouldn't be able to. They are literally human 1.5.
But okay. And she said June 2nd, I came over there. June 2nd was a Friday. She stated that I came over there due to the fact that I did contact the sheriff's and the marshal's office, and they told me I did not have a TPO. She did not have one against me, and that I was able to go to the home and retrieve the rest of my items. So the police was called that day. Shortly after, they issued a warrant that I did not know anything about until last Wednesday. They issued me a warrant, and I was arrested that day for violating the special bonds condition, is what they told me. After that, it has not been nothing else. Nadia Burke has complied with Ms. Johnson and I that, yesterday was the day that we were supposed to meet at 1841 Wanda Way to retrieve my items at 12:30. Officer Connolly was there as well. I spoke with him, me and him spoke, and we had an appointment set for yesterday at 12:30. Through me getting my items until the judge granted us to get our furniture out of the home.
What judge gave you that date to do that? I'm sorry.
No, they said, Mr. Connolly said that, that I was supposed to contact Ms. Johnson, whoever Ms. Johnson is. I contacted her to make a date to, get my things out of the home with Ms. Burke present. We made a date, which was yesterday at 12:30. We met up there. They basically told me that Judge Scott said that I had no reason to go into the home, and that Ms. Burke said I had no reason to go in the home. And me and my party left because of the party that was with me was supposed to help me get some of the things out as well. And as far as she's saying back in May, nope, I already addressed it, May 8th and May 19th, yes. And I submitted evidence of everything as well.
Ms. Springer, were you arrested for kicking down the front door on April 22nd?
No, April 22nd, I was still in the home.
When were you arrested for kicking down the door?
May 8th. And the only reason why I was kicked down is because something was barricading it, and I showed proof of that. Something was in front of the door. I had no knowledge of it, and I used my key to get in the home as well. So it's not like I broke in. The locks and stuff, you was able to still lock the door. It's just the door got knocked down.
Were you, did you ever threaten to or try to fight Miss Burke?
When I kicked down the door, Nadia Burke told me that I was going to jail and that she was going to beat, well, you said I could say it. She said she was going to beat my ass to bring my ass upstairs. I told her that I was not coming upstairs. She could bring her ass downstairs and we can go outside. She never came outside. I let it go.
When did you receive stay away bond conditions?
May 9th.
All right, we need to go through this because everyone's just throwing around dates like crazy here. So you got your bond condition on the 9th. You said you were released and you called law enforcement and they met you there on the 9th?
No, not the 9th. When I got out, I ended up going to Valdosta with my mom. I ended up staying in Valdosta for the rest of that week. When I needed more items, I came back to Atlanta.
Whoa. What do you mean more items? When did you get items in the first place?
When I got items in the first place was that weekend I left before I came back. May 8th is when I had items out of the home. I ended up leaving that weekend, which was the weekend of the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. I went out of town, so I had most of my clothes with me. May 8th was the day I came back home to get in the home. Me and my brother tried to get in the home. We was not successful, so the door ended up coming down by me kicking it with extra force, and I was arrested that day. May 9th, I got my special bonds condition. May 9th, I went back to Valdosta as well.
I'm sorry, what are you saying there? You went where?
To Valdosta, Georgia.
Valdosta. Okay, thank you.
Oh, membership, grab it. Thank you, Mayor, in honor of the beauty school dropout.
After that, I was in Valdosta that whole week up until the 19th. The 19th, I came back up here to Atlanta. I contacted an officer. They told me to wait at home
There
on the
we go,
curb
Maya.
in my
Thank
car.
you.
They told me to describe the make and model of my car. I did. Officer Dennis showed up. Officer Dennis told me as long as I had keys to get in the home, and as long as I did not touch Nadia Burke stuff, I was able to get my items. And that's exactly what I did. I can tell you what I grabbed that day and everything else.
Okay, so you called law enforcement and they met you there.
Yes.
Okay. And then when did you go back?
When I went back again to check on the home was May 29th. I went to check on the home. That would be the day that she said I violated. That is true. I did not contact law enforcement that day, which is why I was arrested June 2nd for May 29th. I went to gather mail and check on the inside of the home.
Did you go in the home?
Yes, nobody was staying there. Ms. Burke was staying next door with a man named Mr. C, and her car was over there as well.
Mr. C.
But I don't know if she was there.
80.
All right, after June 2nd, then what?
Okay, so June 2nd was, June 1st, I contacted the sheriff's and the marshal's office, asking them, did I have a TPO? If I can get escort to go over to the home to get my items and things like that. They told me that I did not need anyone, that I did not have a TPO. I spoke with someone named Miss Georgia. When I got to the home Tuesday morning with my friend to gather my items, I was told that I was not supposed to be there and that the TPO was still active. He told me he could arrest me that day, but he was not going to do all of that due to the fact that I did contact the sheriff's and the marshal's office. So I did leave that day. And that same day was the day that the warrant was put out to me, and I had no knowledge up until June 21st when I went to court with my dad.
So from April, I'm sorry, you didn't go back. On May 29th, you went back. And then when did you go back again?
June 2nd, after I contacted the sheriff's and marshal's office.
And then you got arrested on that day?
No.
Okay. When did you get arrested?
June 21st.
Okay, so you went back on the 2nd, but then you were told you couldn't be there.
Right. He told
Did,
me.
did you go back there again after the 2nd?
No. After the 2nd, my brother went over there. That had nothing to do with me. My brother went back over there to retrieve his items because he stays in Orlando now. So he went to the house to get his own items. And then they told him he couldn't be there because she had a protective order against him too. So he left the home as well too.
Okay. All right. On the 21st, you were arrested, and then you tried again to go get stuff on the 28th, and that's when the whole thing happened with Judge Scott, you said?
Yes, Miss Johnson scheduled an appointment. I called Miss Johnson.
That's what I mean, I remember that. That's what I'm, okay.
Yes, it was an appointment set up. It wasn't a violation that day. She said I violated that day. I didn't. I
gotcha.
contact.
Okay. Miss Springer, are you trying to live in that home now?
I'm not trying to live in the home now. I'm just want to retrieve me and my brother's item out of the home, which is our bedroom sets. My brother has a bedroom set. I described it in the email what it looks like, what all he has in his room, and my bedroom set of everything that's in my room. I submitted that too. I submitted everything of what all I want to get out of the home. I just want to get my items out of the home. I don't want to stay in the home.
Okay. And you have some
Thank you,
exhibits you
Lisa.
submitted. Do you want to share those?
Just wait
this
until mom
room.
gets on. Okay. You have to listen carefully. Just listen, because this all adds up.
That's the picture she's talking about that she said my mom said it's her profile page. That has nothing to do with me. My mom is her own person now.
So she's claiming that the mother put that as a profile page to be a jerk off, basically, to the girlfriend. I guess that's a mugshot. Looks like Brittany Griner. But oh my god. And then now we have mom come on to tell her why she did it and if she did it.
I'm my own person. As far as her saying I tried to get in contact with her through my mom is a absolute no, absolutely no, because just no. The extra pictures is everything that's in my room and proof that I purchased everything in there.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not deciding anything about property right now.
Okay,
Great.
well, that's
Anything
what
else?
they told me to
Oh,
submit
Ginger.
that to you just in case. So that's
That's fine.
everything.
It may become relevant. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Burke, do you have any questions for Ms. Springer you need to ask through me, please?
I would like for you to ask that the day that Socorro Springer got arrested, did I or did I not reach out to her?
The day you got arrested, Ms. Springer, did Ms. Burke reach out to you?
Welcome, Ten Rod.
Not trying to be funny, but which incident?
Sean L., welcome to the club. Thank you for becoming a member.
Which time are you talking about,
Throw up the emojis. Show what he's in for.
Ms. Burke?
When she went to jail for obstruction against law enforcement.
Okay, the obstruction arrest.
I had one message from her, but it wasn't current. It was the day that I went in.
It was the day that you were arrested?
It was the night that I was arrested, so I wasn't able to see my phone or anything. I was arrested. When I got out, I didn't receive anything from her.
Okay. Ms. Burke, any other questions?
My next question is April 1st, did I or did I not come to her room to try to speak with her?
Did she try to talk to you on April 1st?
April 1st. April 1st, I'm assuming that today she knocked on my door. Yes, she did, and I didn't want to talk to her at that moment.
Okay. Ms. Burke, any other questions?
My next thing is the dates that she gave, the May 29th, the June 2nd, those dates were the dates that she did not come with
Yeah.
police officers. And I just want to let you know that she did state those.
Okay, that's testimony. Do
Okay.
you have any questions for her?
Other than that, no, that's it. Because I'm
Okay.
not
All right,
denying.
we're not gonna, no argument or testimony right now, okay? Well, I'm gonna circle back to all of y'all about your arguments. All right, Ms. Springer, do you have witnesses?
Yes, I do. I have my mom, LaTondra Sweet, and my brother, Brian Springer Jr. They said they've been waiting to get in from my knowledge. I don't
Bring
know
on
if they're waiting in the
Mom.
breakout room or not.
Okay, well, let's bring in one at a time. Who do you want to call first?
Mom.
We can call my brother for
No.
the first incident,
All right, what's his name?
Brian Springer Jr.
Can we bring in Brian Springer Jr., please?
It's raining memberships. Mark from Montana. It's 420 somewhere. And memberships are in the air. And thank God the brother couldn't come because mom is up.
While we're waiting, Miss Springer, I want you to, I'm only gonna want to hear about what he has personal knowledge of.
Okay,
And-
so you want myself?
Well, no, I'm just telling you, and I'm probably gonna ask him a couple questions, but you can ask him questions too, but I want it to keep focused on what he has personal knowledge of himself, okay?
Okay.
He may not be by his device right now.
Yeah, because he said he was waiting.
All right, get mom. Mom. She's getting her hair did.
All right, well, why don't we get your mom then? What's your mom's name?
LaTondra Sweet.
Can we get Miss Sweet instead, please?
Here we go. Judge Amy Farrah Fowler. Here. What is
Okay, ma'am, are you Miss Sweet?
I am. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank
Judge Bryant doesn't even let you lean on a counter. Could you imagine if this lady logged on getting her hair done? How is this allowed?
you. Are you ready to be sworn into court and testify?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand.
Get it out.
You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct under penalty
1, she has a bare paw, and 2, she had to get it out from under her smock. I can't.
of perjury.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You put your hand down. All right, Miss Sweet, what is your full name?
My name is Latondra Sweet.
Latondra Sweet. Okay, thank you. Miss Sweet, we're here today on a case regarding getting Miss Burke asking for a TPO to be extended to 12 months against your daughter, I believe. Is Miss Springer your daughter?
Yes, ma'am. She's my daughter.
Okay. I think I'm going to let your daughter ask you the questions she wants to ask. I'm just interested in what you have personal knowledge, what you've personally witnessed. And Miss Springer, I'm not asking you to just start telling me. Miss Springer, you can ask her anything about anything that's been brought up today that involves your mom too. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so on May 19th, did I say anything to Nadia Burke?
Is that the day we're over to Dennis?
Yes.
No, you did not. You didn't even have an opportunity to approach her.
Okay, on my May 19th, did I throw any trash at Nadia's daughter?
No, ma'am. You was the driver and I was the passenger, and Officer Dennis was right behind us.
Okay, on any given incident through the social media thing, did I try to contact Miss Nadia Burke?
No, nobody tried to contact her but me.
Okay, that's all the questions that I have.
Miss Sweet, why did you try to contact Miss Burke?
Well, I contacted her on Instagram because of the fact that I seen that she got arrested of the situation that was going on. So now I'm contacting you trying to find out, okay, what's the hold up with you're leaving the household and with my daughter getting her belongings?
So it was regarding your daughter's belongings?
Yes, I was just like, a matter of fact, can I go through my phone and show you what I said?
No, we're not going to look at phones.
Okay.
So
Okay.
did you post her mugshot of her as your profile picture?
I sure did, ma'am. Yes, I did.
Why did you do that?
I did that because Nadia Burke has been falsified to law enforcement since this whole incident has occurred. And just for you to get arrested for the same thing that you're doing right now, I posted it.
I did.
Because this is also a problem this is also a thing also in Miami, Florida with her as well.
Did your daughter ask you to contact her or do any of that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Miss Sweet.
No, ma'am, she did not. No, ma'am, she did not. They didn't even know that I did that.
All right.
That was only me.
Okay. Miss Springer, do you have any other questions for your mother?
Nope, that'll be all.
Miss Burke, do you have any questions that you want me to ask Miss Sweet?
Yes. Can you ask Miss Sweet, the day that I got arrested, did that have anything to do with the Springer family?
No, it did not.
Okay.
That was totally you speaking.
All right. Okay, that's fine. All right. Miss Burke, do you have any other questions that are related to this case?
Why did she feel the need to put my information on social media if I did not do it to her or her daughter?
I felt the need to show your character because like I just told the judge, this has been an ongoing situation with you falsifying information. So yeah, and that's my proof of your character.
Okay. All right, Miss Burke, we're getting a little far afield from the issues here, but do you have any other questions, ma'am? All right, Miss Springer, can we let your mother go now?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Or no?
Not really, no.
Thank you, that's fine. You have a good day, ma'am.
You too, Miss Sweet. All right, she
acted like there was nothing going on, as if she was sitting on her dining room table.
can leave the meeting.
I
Do we
can't.
have Mr. Brian Springer available yet? Mr.
Dono clip.
Springer? Looks like he's not connected to audio.
I have so many, I'm sorry, again,
Oh,
that is
there
correct.
it is.
So she was arrested on May 8th.
Laura! Okay,
Correct.
so
All right.
they couldn't get the brother on, so they went to recess. I picked it up exactly where it left off. So we have this one and then the conclusion, and we're getting our Judge Bryant extra clip. It is worth it.
So that was not in violation of a stay away
She
condition.
didn't have a stay away order at that time. Because again, like I told you before, she went to jail for obstruction against law enforcement. That had nothing to do with me. So she didn't have a stay away order. She didn't have any bond conditions at that time. Everything came after the door being kicked down.
Oh, Lisa and Monkey.
Miss Burke, when she threatened
Thank you.
was that in response
Three
to threats
sponsors.
that you had made to her?
Thank you guys.
No, ma'am.
You're the best.
Because the day that she kicked the door down, I was in the home actually speaking to one of the associates in the women's resource advocate. And they also spoke to the sergeant that came in place and let them know that we were in the house on the phone that the day that the incident happened.
So, did you change the locks?
No, I did not. I did not change the locks until the bond conditions and TPOs were present.
Did you barricade the door the day that she kicked it down?
No, I did not. There was a couch there. There was no other things that was there.
Definitely.
And
Why was there a couch in front of the door?
Barricade.
there was a couch in front of the door because Socorro.
Isn't that the definition of a barricade? When you put something very heavy in front of something to block someone? A couch would qualify as a barricade? I don't know. Just me.
Had already started kicking at the door. When we also already had incidents with that door with it not even being able to be going in and out. So we started going out the back and the front door, which again, from the videos, I wish that she could have put them up. You could see every party going in and out the back door. It was not accessible to go through the front door.
Why did you put the couch in front of the door though? Did she?
Because she was screaming and yelling, saying to come outside, that she was gonna whip my ass.
Did she still live there?
No.
On the 8th, she didn't live there still?
Lies.
Her stuff had already been gone. And she also explained that to the officers as well. It's on their body cam.
On the 8th?
Yes, ma'am.
The brothers at the barbershop. Correct, stink eye. Right? I say that all the time, Sylvia. I'm so boring.
Miss Springer, do you have any questions? Oh, wait a second. No. Miss Burke, what else do you want to tell me?
My life is so boring compared to these guys. So boring.
Am I allowed to tell you the things what I said about her belongings?
Your belongings suck.
What?
Oh, is this the part where I could tell you about the belongings in the home?
Can I tell you what I said about her belongings? They're ugly.
What? Are you saying they're yours?
What?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Poor judge.
When, again, I didn't know that I had to present physically the reports from the police officers.
Why?
In those reports, which is also on the call that I made to the officers, where the officers have came and spoke to Socorro because Socorro was removing things out of the home of mine, which I have recorded on my phone of her saying.
Can we just get one thing straight? Since when did we start saying mines? It's not a racial thing either. So don't say black people, just black people say it, or white people don't say it. I am with children of all races. They all say mines. Where did that come from?
Hey, I went into that bitch room and took stuff out of her room. She had stuff behind the door as if I couldn't get in. The officers came, they politely told me and Sequoia, they told Sequoia, don't go back in her room, don't touch anything of hers. And they said, ma'am, because you guys are in the same home, it's like a civil matter. I will have to take her to court for removing things from my room. Since then, since that incident that happened, I can't remember, I could tell you the case number. Since then, there's a lock on everyone's room door and everybody has their own key to their own room. No one has a key to no one else's room. So like I stated before, I'm not testifying that she doesn't have anything there. It's locked in her room, it's hers. What she has in there, since she put the lock on her room door, I have no idea. Because once she removed all her personal items and things like that from the time of the bond conditions and her coming back and forth without police officers, I don't know what she did or did not take it to their home, because as you can see, the day that I was arrested, I was in jail for 10 days. So they were going back in and out of the home between then. Whatever is in her room locked, I have no idea, because I can't get in it.
Dr. Phil. Get it,
So on
Lisa.
you're saying, I just want to be clear on dates. After she got the special bond condition.
Correct.
She came back on May 30th, is that correct?
I don't know, I'm gonna tell you.
Temu is no good, people. Sorry to interrupt. I read a huge thing on Temu, see some stuff about Temu. Correct, data collection. They sell crap so they can get all your info.
Right now. Yeah, she came back after the special bond conditions, correct.
Okay, and on the 19th, she was there with a police officer. Is that correct?
When the police officer was there, he was speaking to Brian Springer in front of the home. So Corey and her mom had already started driving off. They were driving off way before Mr. Dennis came to relieve them. Mr. Dennis drove after Mr. Springer. And he was telling them, okay, you need to leave.
Okay, so but that was on the 19th. And then on the 30th is when you're saying she came again.
The 30th, the 2nd.
The 30th and the 2nd.
And then May 29th. Oh yeah, 28th to 29th. One of those days, May 28th to 29th. And I believe she said it. I think she said May 29th.
And that's when the police officer again, or law enforcement was involved in all of that.
When she came to 29th, she came on her own. When the police officers came, when I called them, that was June 2nd.
I thought you said that there was involvement with the sheriff and Judge Scott on the 28th. There were no law enforcement present on the 28th, is what you're telling me?
No, there was only the 19th. That's the only time she came with law enforcement. Oh, and yesterday.
Well, that's the 28th.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, those are only 2 times she came with law enforcement. Other than that, she has came on her own.
Which is the 30th and the 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Ms. Springer, do you have any other questions for Ms. Burke?
On June 2nd, did I not contact the police while waiting? Well, when I got there.
Did she contact the police when she got there on the 2nd, Ms. Burke?
I called. I'm assuming
she called.
It didn't matter who called, but no, she physically drove there on her own. When she seen that she could not get into the home, that's when she called law enforcement. But I had already called them because I knew per her bond condition, she wasn't supposed to be there.
Okay. All right, Ms. Springer, do you have any other questions?
As of yesterday, did we or did we not schedule an appointment for me to come over?
Did you have an appointment scheduled on the 28th for her to come over?
Judge, she had a date scheduled. However, like I told you before, Sheriff Conley and Officer Burton, they both spoke. Sheriff Conley did
Right,
not.
but I mean, I think her question is, was there an appointment set up?
There was before they went into the history.
Sure, okay, but there was an appointment set. Okay, thank you. Ms. Springer, anything else?
That'll be all.
Okay. All right, I think I have heard from both of you and been taking notes. I know that Ms. Burke wants this extended. I know Miss.
Okay, stunning conclusion now.
And let me say this, I brought up the TPO with Mr. Springer for this reason. I didn't get to circle back to it. Ms. Burke, you have agreed in that case that you will be voluntarily vacating that location where Ms. Springer's furniture is on the 31st of July. By the 31st of July through the 31st, whatever, you will be gone. And at that time, Ms. Springer, I suggest that is when, after that, in August, you go get your stuff then when you know that Ms. Burke is gone.
Granted.
Because at this time, you can't be around her and you can't have contact with her. So wherever you're living, if it's Valdosta or wherever, I suggest you wait until August to come get your stuff. Because you have that special bond condition, okay? And so I am going to dismiss the order at this time. And I think everyone understands, sounds like no one wants to have contact with anyone. And family members should be encouraged to do the same. Ms. Burke, I want to say this to you.
I'll put up
If
the
at any
PO box
time
daylight.
you are threatened, bond conditions are violated, anything like that, of course, you can call the police. You can also refile if threats are made to you and you can refile if you need to, okay? If something happens ongoing by anybody. And also, well, they had to have lived with you, but if it turns into a stalking situation, they don't have to have lived with you. But you can always call the police. Anyone can call the police as soon as if they're ever feeling like they're in immediate danger. Okay.
All right, granted. Here we go. Our next clip sponsored by Laura, the birthday girl, Lisa, Monkey, and Sarah. All right, here we go. I think it was Daylight asked for the PO. There it is, buddy. All right, let's roll. Here we go.
All right, go
Wait,
ahead and call.
No, hold on. I got it. Give me a minute. It's here. Give me a second. I got it. Hold on. All right, I'll give you this clip while I'm pulling this one up. Hold on 1 second. I'll throw a clip up here while I'm getting this one for you.
Go ahead, Mr. Sweeney. Ms. O'Brien, you have some medical history that you've been dealing with during the pendency of this case. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what are the specific issues or illnesses that you've been dealing with while this case has been before this court?
Cyst on all female organs, cyst, a different kind of cyst in my lymph nodes. I have scar here where these lymph nodes have been removed. And anytime that these cysts keep rupturing at any given time, it causes an infection all over my body to where we put drain tubes in and catheters in, trying to keep it from turning to sepsis. And I've been really ill over that, just from the infections also.
Okay. And during the course of this case, have you had hospitalizations?
Yes.
Okay. And have you had surgeries during the course of this case?
Yes, well, the minor surgery for the drain tube and catheter.
Okay. And you were on medication as recently as last week for different symptoms or illnesses associated with your medical condition. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you were unable to provide a specific list, but approximately how many medications would you say you're on?
It varies. I mean, whatever's needed at the time. I can get the list.
A little of this.
If I get back to my computer, I can give you copies of whatever you need. But for the purposes of this hearing and for the court record, would you say that you've been on more or less than 10 medications?
Less.
Okay, more or less than 5 medications?
Around about that or maybe just slightly less.
Okay, and were those medications generally for inflammation and infection? What type of medications were those focused on?
For inflammation, and then like a steroid trying to strengthen, and then
All right. As she rattles off her many prescriptions, we found the clip. Here we go. She is on all her glory with this one. I promise. Thank you to our sponsors. Let's do it to it, Judge Bryant. Let's roll. That's the P.O. box. Take it down.
All right, so as I indicated to you, outside of the presence of Mr. Gavin, this is the problem that I have. Now, first of all, it appears to me, now that I see Mr. Gavin, that he is literally sitting in a vehicle. And this morning, on not less than 7 occasions, and I think it was more than 7, but on not less than 7 occasions, I brought that Samsung device into the courtroom
Oh boy.
and attempted to get the person who was behind the Samsung connected to their audio and video. On not less than 7 occasions, I shared my screen when I brought the Samsung in, and the screen said, please make sure you are connected to your internet audio so that you can hear us and so that we can hear you. And on most of those occasions, the Samsung device didn't even attempt to start the audio, like the little 3 lines that you see, or the lines that you see swerving when a person is trying to connect. The Samsung only did that like maybe 3 of the times that I brought the Samsung in, which leads the court to believe that the person behind the Samsung device was not sitting at their device. On one occasion, I literally left the Samsung device in the courtroom for about 5 minutes, trying to get the Samsung to connect, probably a little longer than 5 minutes. Every time the defense made a motion to dismiss because the complaining witness was not here, every single time I brought the Samsung device in and I said, well, this could be the complaining witness. And then I said, well, the person on the Samsung device won't connect. So if it's determined that this is the complaining witness, then I'll reconsider my dismissal. I did that at least 4 times this morning. I removed the Samsung device at least probably, I don't know how many times. I completely removed them. And I said, well, maybe if I remove the Samsung device, they will come back in and then they'll connect to their audio. Not one time this morning did Ms. Rutter say to me, Judge, the person on the Samsung is called in the courtroom and they say that their name is blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
And they can't connect. Because had the person on the Samsung device said that, we would have said, put that car that you in and drive. And drive down to 421 Madison Street.
Thank you, Laura.
And we would have been able to do that while the prosecutor was present. So, Ms. Stevenson, tell me now why I should accommodate the Samsung device that I tried to bring into the courtroom no less than 7 times this morning? Tell me why I should accommodate the person that was behind that Samsung device.
And before she gets at it, if you watched my clip today, if you haven't, it's up. She's 60. Janice Stevenson is 60. God bless you. She is amazing. And Trevor, yes, what's his defense? Poor Miss Stevenson has to make gold out of dog shit.
Your Honor,
Here
I
we go.
can say that at least Mr. Gavin did. Now we know that it was Mr. Gavin, but he did stay in the waiting room or at some point in a place where he was trying to participate in the meeting for all of the morning. And then even as I prepared for the afternoon, he's still there.
Have you ever logged in on a Zoom? You might not have because you're such an honest and good person. Have you ever logged on to a Zoom? Well, let me just not even ask it as a question. Sometimes I log on to a Zoom meeting just so that my presence can be seen, like so the people could say, Lanice is at the meeting. And then I'm doing all type of stuff. Washing my dishes, sweeping my floor, folding up my clothes. I'm down in the basement and the meeting is going on upstairs. Now, I only do that on meetings where I'm sure they're not going to call my name. They're not going to call my name. I'm just here to listen to this meeting. And so, and if they want me, somebody will text me. So I'm downstairs, I'm upstairs, I'm outside watering my plants. But my device is right there in the meeting. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know that when I did finally take an opportunity to try to make contact with Mr. Gavin, I talked to him on the phone. He told me that he had been sitting there and that he couldn't hear. So we did kind of just walk through how to get him get his audio connected, get us to a place where we could hear one another, and that did work. So I don't
on his video the whole time.
I did remind Mr. Gavin of that. So I don't have an explanation as to why, it didn't happen this morning, but I would advise the court that I spoke with Mr. Gavin in preparation for today's hearing last night. I haven't had any problem communicating with him up to this point. The precinct.
She is holding back everything. And I honestly think it's professional courtesy for Stevenson, because she would rip this guy apart. And I honestly think Stevenson probably went, dude, you missed court. Judge is ready to rip you a new a-hole. Shut up. And he listened. To his credit, he's listening.
Investigation was completed. It doesn't look like there were any problems with that, Your Honor. Mr. Gavin is employed, which is going to make it has a pretty decent job, which is going to make it difficult for him to take another day off work, which he decided to do instead. We had a conversation last night about it being just too hard for him to work and do Zoom like a lot of my clients try to do. So he went ahead and took today off. It's going to be a financial hardship if he has to do that again. I know that Ms. Ritter's not here today, so we cannot proceed with the sentencing at this point. But, this is one of those pitfalls of Zoom that, sometimes people just get caught up in. So
it's really not a pitfall because at no time did Mr. Gavin attempt to reach someone so that someone could say, come down to the court.
I did even ask him, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I asked him while we were waiting for the recess to end, if he could just get on down here. He does have 2 young children that are with him in his care, Your Honor. So kind of thinking about what to do with them and physically be in court at the same time.
Let me say
I,
this.
I don't know what happened.
Well, let me say this, because what Zoom is not going to do. Now, so people can use Zoom as a crutch and they can just make decisions. They make decisions based on that. What I'm saying is, if COVID had never happened, Mr. Gavin would have still had to take off work. And Mr. Gavin would have had to find babysitters for those kids had COVID never happened. So now COVID happens, even though everybody, well, not everybody, but even though a lot of people want to try to act like it didn't. And one of the blessings that it brought us, one of the good things that it brought us is Zoom court. But let's be clear. As I spotlight this, the courtroom is open to any defendant having a matter before the court. Now, it sounds to me.
Would any other judge, not even Simpson, would do that? That was great. She cut to the Zoom camera and said, "Court is open."
Like Mr. Gavin was able to communicate with probation. That must have been in person or over the telephone. He was able to communicate with his lawyer. That was either in person or over the telephone. And then when the rubber met the road for him to be sentenced today, I brought his device in no less than 7 times. And the reason why I don't believe that Mr. Gavin was at that device is because I find it very interesting that then when we go to lunch, Miss Stevenson was miraculously able to call him on the telephone and then direct him, and he was turning on his camera and stuff. I mean, no less than 7 times. No less than, no less. I believe it was more. So Mr. Gavin has taken up a lot of the court's time today. A lot of the court's time today. A lot.
How much?
And now you want me to give him a different day than tomorrow. So it's already Grace saying, come in tomorrow and get sentenced. But now you want me to say, okay, don't come in tomorrow, because that's an inconvenience to you. Now, he inconvenienced us at least 7 times this morning.
How many?
He has about 4 defendants waiting to see if their case is really dismissed.
36.
Because we couldn't bring Mr. Gavin in to determine that it was Mr. Gavin. So now those defendants waiting for us to see, okay, was that the complaining witness, or it wasn't a complaining witness? Okay. All right. And Ms. Stevenson, I know you're going to say, yes, Your Honor, I'm aware of all of that, but if you would please let Mr. Gavin come on a different day.
Absolutely. That is exactly.
Wait, did she just impersonate Miss Stevenson? I think we just witnessed her making fun of Stevenson's voice. I have to go. I'm sorry. We have to go to a repeat on that. Replay.
I know.
That's what I would say. That's how I would say.
Was that the complaining witness, or it wasn't a complaining witness? Okay. All right. And Ms. Stevenson, I know you're going to say, yes, Your Honor, I'm aware of all of that, but if you would please let Mr. Gavin come on a different day.
Absolutely. That is exactly.
I know.
That's what I would say. That's how I would say it.
Exactly.
That's exactly
everything
what I would do. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
He's the best.
Okay, Mr. Gavin, why should I do that? Don't even answer that. Don't even answer it. Okay. That's what we're going to do. We're going to give Mr. Gavin an opportunity to request another day off of work. And he's going to get a babysitter, and he's going to come down in person to the 36th District Court.
Where?
On Thursday, July the 13th.
Write it down.
That's going to be at 9:02.
Fantastic.
In person. Let me be clear with my words. I will not sentence Mr. Gavin on Zoom.
Okay.
He must come in person July 13th at 9:02.
Oh boy, you are in trouble. He'll be all right. He'll cool down by then. You did give him another day. I don't know.
Court
what was
also
that.
notes, and I don't know what his license status is. However, if his license is not valid, he better not drive down to the court.
Oh.
If his
sitting in the
license is
car.
valid, then there's no issue.
He's sitting in the car.
But since I don't have the PSI in front of me, because that was from this morning, I don't know whether his license is valid or not.
Oh.
Anything further, Ms. Stevenson?
Nothing on behalf of Mr. Gavin. Thank you very much, Ron.
Get out of there, Mr. Gavin. Get out of the car. All right, guys. We had a great live. Be back tomorrow night. Last day of the month. It'll be 4th of July before we know it. And it'll be football season. I'll be back in school before we blink. But until then, we will be court nerding it up every day. See you guys in the chat tomorrow. God bless. Thank you all who gave me a dono. Thank of all my members. Thank you all for just tuning in. I love you all. God bless. See you tomorrow. My name's Phil. You have been in the 36th district. In the 36th district. In the 36th district. Serve.